Randy? Chief?
How y'all doing? Randy?
Hi, Randy.
Good evening. Here. Hey, all right here.
I think he likes us seat. I think he does.
What?
So you like your seat now? He's always smiling.
I'm always most time happy. Most time.
It's always good. All right. I'd like to call to order the mayor and town council work session for July 1st, 2025, Worcester County Government Center, boardroom, room 1102. If we take a look at our agenda, we have 3 items this evening that we have talked about in meetings in the past. And what we would like to do is continue our conversations and see if we can come to consensus on how to move forward. Number 1 is continue consideration of Port of Snow Hill Dock Committee report. And in your packet, the first item is a internal memorandum from Larissa McAllister, Director of Economic Development, about the boat docking. And her recommendations, if you go through on the second page, you can see her recommendations of limit docking at Sturgis Park to day trip docking only with increased and improved signage and increase marketing efforts to attract day trip boaters. The next page, he has recommendations for allowing transient docking in Bird Park with stipulations that vessels cannot be left unattended for extensive periods of time and do not allow long-term unattended docking. And at the bottom of that page, keep all duties related to administration, monitoring, enforcement of docking permits in-house for consistency and effective management of the program. And then on the last page, conduct cost analysis as a basis to determine fee structure. And then she has included some pictures of the docking while events are taking place, and also some code violations, and also a report to a fuel leak on the Potomac River and how that was taken care of. And then if we go to the fines and fees committee has been meeting and talking about the impacts of the docking, long-term docking, maintenance and services. And the conclusion from the fines and fees is even with bulkheads, boardwalks, and access to utilities, the town of Snow Hill does not have the adequate infrastructure or manpower to operate as a marina. Furthermore, it behooves the town to protect the health, the condition of our parks and riverbank, and access to the assets that define Snow Hill as a appealing and attractive place to live and visit. Then we have the Port of Snow Hill Advisory Committee interim report. And this, as you know, was presented with spokesperson Ed Phillips. And they have some recommendations also. They have signage recommendations, rules and regulations, payment information about the history of Snow Hill, businesses and restaurants. And they also gave a picture of a sign that was from Nanticoke River Marine Park and all their rules and regulations. And then they also, in the summary, gave some recommendations, and that they want to retain the Port of Snow Hill for recreational boaters, Bird Park, all holiday use, seasonal, off-season, and transient. Sturgis Park, transient and day use boaters limited to seasonal use only. And Gateway Park, transient, seasonal, and day use boaters. And then they have recommendations for the Port of Snow Hill. And it provides for transient boaters and day use boaters only to dock in proximity to the town center where they can easily access the town amenities, shops, restaurants, and bars. It outlines a suggested rate structure for dockage and utilities. It suggests an avenue for marketing. It summarizes our maintenance and repair needs. It provides a sample of hold harmless agreement. And long-term unattended boats are located in Bird Park. And that concludes their report. So we have, Randy Barfield here. Do you want to add any information to this report?
Mayor, I thought, when I met with, Mr. Phillips, Mr. Matthews, and Kevin Brown, maybe it was on the same. Didn't matter something. I thought we had all come to an agreement that Bird Park was the better place to dock.
Mhm.
And in the report, it even had in there as far as Sturgis Park and all like this day docking only.
Okay,
That's what you just read.
right,
And the boats that are there, and the reason we came up with that is because Bird Park was a better place. Because we had the four electrical boxes and all for power. Normally it's only two, sometimes three bigger boats, so it'd be plenty of money for that. And also it's 4 water outlets down there, instead of 3, as Sturgis has. The bulkhead at Sturgis Park, which, Mr. Brown even showed, Mr. Phillips and had, was deteriorating in 3 or 4 different spots and needed to be addressed. And of course, that's gonna be a big fix to do that. I just thought that we had already decided that would be the better place at Bird Park for the bigger boats. As far as the events and all, I know the other week they had the raft race or whatever they're supposed to have, and I
Right.
went down and tried to get up with my fellows asked to by
right.
the manager, and I couldn't, it was someone on the boat, and I couldn't get up with anybody. And I think, look right, I saw pictures in here of one of them, one of the boats, and they were right there at it. You know, right here, I think it's on page, just the 3rd page of the pictures. And I'm just wondering, if we can't get contacted, if they don't get their boats out of the way, this event and other events are steady getting bigger. It seems like to me in town, we can't reach out and get up with anyone. How much it will impose on the town as far as them being in the way or whatever, I'm really not sure. It was just something I had, I was thinking about as you were reading back through this again, and I've been over this. But, I mean, that's just my thought. I'll be at, anybody got any questions? I thought someone might be here, Mr. Phillips, or one of them. I don't know when it's here. But if any of y'all have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them the best I can. If I don't have the right answer, I will get it. We need to figure out something, I think, on this as soon as we can, with all the events and all we do have coming to Sturgis Park.
Okay.
Another thing is, if as far as the docking back down there at Sturgis Park, I know there are certain people that are local, that like to come in, like say 4th of July fireworks and stuff like that. Well, how long, are you gonna allow the people to dock there? Just to leave their boat? I mean, can they take it for 2 months at a time, the whole season of the summer? And that doesn't give any of the local people that just come for certain events to be able to dock there for that thing that night, for that event. Which is really not up to me to say, or whatever, it's up to Mary Hanson. I mean, those are just some thoughts I had.
Okay, any questions from council for Randy?
Yeah, the Gateway Park, I go down there and walk my dog down there a lot. It seems to be in worse shape than Sturgis.
Bird Park,
Gateway.
Gateway.
Gateway is not in real bad shape. Gateway is just no room.
Okay.
And then of course you already have,
Some of them boards are pretty
a
rough.
canoe shop that's there, and you have people trying to maneuver in and out there with canoes and all.
Yeah.
And, there are two posters there.
So how much you can fix, it cost to fix the bulkhead down in Sturgis?
Sturgis. Several hundred, probably. I'm just guessing now, I'm not
Okay,
a,
all right.
It's something I don't mind looking into.
We should
And
find
getting an actual
an idea.
idea of what it'd be. It'd have to be from a company that installs bulkhead and stuff like that, that does that.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's probably something that's gonna have to be looked at with some kind of funding or grant money or something like that. It's not gonna be just overnight fix or whatever.
And wouldn't it be with the Bird Park? That doesn't have a full bulkhead neither,
No,
right?
no, but what is there is nothing that's gonna be tore up, damaged or whatever. If we damage the bulkhead down here, if that comes out of Sturgis Park, any worse than it is, it's gonna keep washing out. We don't, Sturgis Park, all it's got is the ground and all this there. On Sturgis Park side, after the bulkhead. Bird Park does have all the bricks and all that's been put in, the concrete, stones and all that for a bulkhead like that. So it's not like anything's gonna get washed out there. Any worse than what it already is, like kind of tides.
So you can anchor there.
Yeah, oh, yes,
Okay.
that's the meeting. Yeah, we all went down there, Mr. Phillips and Matthews and, Mr. Brown and the other gentleman, I'm sorry, I can't think of his name. We all went down there and they looked, they were, man, this is better really than Sturgis Park. I wish one of them was here tonight. But,
Well, we have the report. We have the whole thing.
right. But, I mean, that's just me.
My comment is this, so I'm fine with the long-term docking down at Bird. I get it, that's a safe place to do it. My question is that river, to get out to Tangier Sound is 28 miles. So if you're gonna do a day trip up to Snow Hill, that's like, from just starting off in the Tangier Sound, that's 2 hours pretty much up the river. And then another 2 hours back. That's a lot of time on a boat, and a long time in town. And that's just to get to the Tangier Sound. Not saying if you can go up to Chrisfield or up Fairmont or Rambley or wherever.
Right.
So I don't know if just single day usage makes a lot of sense from anybody coming from any kind of distance.
I what I'm saying.
Like Aaron had a comment.
Aaron?
I've had 2 calls in the last 3 weeks in regards to what's going on with this and asking about. They're planning trips up the Pocomoke River because it's one of the most scenic places to go. There are 7 bald eagle nesting sets of bald eagles on the Pocomoke, which I just found out yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, Monday. For one person contacting. And the attraction is not so much that you will get day trips, people coming up and spending time and going in. But there is a potential for creating a tourism of people actually taking the boat trip, because they actually do a 3-week, there's a 3-week set tour, come down from Baltimore to up the Pocomoke River past Snow Hill. And their concern is that where the most attractive places in the Pocomoke River is Snow Hill and above. So when they heard that they were closing docking, I explained to them that we're not necessarily, there's a moratorium on it right now until we figure out what to do, but we are looking at where the appropriate places are. Bird Park is an excellent place for it to be because it actually, as he said, there's riprap and other stuff behind the bulkhead. The bulkhead that's having damage now, Mr. Brown walked me through it also. And it's actually what's considered washout, where the dirt behind it is actually washing out, and pushing into the bulkhead, and with the spots where the bigger boats are anchored right now, are pulling the most. Right. So when you dump a 5-gallon bucket full of white powder suspended in water, it actually goes straight down through and out to the river, which tells you you're getting a lot of washout. Start all back. That's why the damage in Sturgis Park is more severe than up at Gateway. Because you're actually getting the bulkheads to start getting out or to push out, which is the more difficult thing to fix. Fixing boards on top of the boardwalk is still very difficult and overly expensive, compared to repairing the bulkhead itself. But where the real comes from is having at least, I would say, probably 4 to 7 spots where you could have an overnight stay, and where you could have a long-term stay for those people that may want to take a little bit more time. I know that one individual came last year when I first started, because I actually met him when we were out there. He stayed for 3 days. He was planning on doing it again this year, but he didn't know whether or not it was allowed. So, where I agree that Sturgis may not be the best place for it, but you still do have with Bird and with Gateway. And there is enough room to protect the dock for the canoe place, to get plenty of room for launching.
Okay, that's good input. Thank you. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. Lee, have any? No? Do you have anything else you wanna?
Looking at this, when you say you don't have, contact, but looking at this, form, this is the form that's already been used. It definitely needs to be an update, because it doesn't have anything about,
That's further up, right? Yeah.
let me see.
Yes. Welcome to the pride.
Yeah, yeah, it's right after, the sign, well, docking fees. We haven't gotten into that yet, but the docking fees on the next page. Definitely there.
Right,
The docking agreement.
this agreement. It's a basic agreement. That's just giving the owner the address. They could have an address somewhere else that's not even here.
So
It's
you would like
nothing
them to have
that,
their home address and their, is that what you're saying, their home?
well, if it's saying present address, if they're not locally, they're gonna put their present address that they're not from here. But it should be, in case something happens, just like what happened in Kokomo. It should be emergency contact if I'm leaving my boat and I'm not here, because I know those boats that are already there, those people haven't been here for a while. It needs to be emergency contact, and what else was it that I read? Something that. Maybe it was the train state, the other one, but, it should have emergency information.
Okay.
It should, you could also put in there, if you were using it for, like, one of the recommendations was for the season. You could have, like, where you can dock, but these dates, or you will be contacted of dates where we have events to move your booth.
So could we have something that they are is what you're saying is when we have events again,
Mhm.
that they would
would-
move their
Yes.
boats.
So that we would have, people would be able to access that and have a better view of what's going on the river.
Mayor, in previous discussions, I thought it was agreed that that information was going to be posted. And that when the issue arose, that events was a issue that possibly compromised. And we said that that juncture that we should put that on the application so that there's no question about it. That they would have to, use their votes, that the town functions takes priority. That's what we discussed earlier.
We have thrown a lot of these things out with our discussions and I'm trying to finalize. It seems that everybody agrees with the events, making sure that they move their boats during that time. Is that the consensus of everyone? Okay, so Councilperson Lumpkins, tell us.
It's not an event venue, it's a river. And I actually went to the canoe jousting. I spent 2 hours down there. Those boats didn't inhibit my view one bit. Everybody was underneath the pavilion at Circus Park because it was shaded and it was 100 degrees out there. That's where the bar and the music was. Those boats were further down the wharf. Now, you can't park right in front of that pavilion because you got that little launch for kayaks. Now, most of the people during the canoe joust, they spend more time kind of jostling just to get close enough to each other to hit one another. You could have parked that boat down at Bird, it would have made a bit of difference.
They make me understand something. I was there also. Yeah, the whole thing.
Jousting.
Oh, jousting, no,
Yeah.
The raft, you were at the raft.
Rap.
I was at jousting.
Make me understand what you're saying. Yeah, repeat that.
I said that basically, from the way that you had to view the event,
Oh, you're talking about the jousting.
yeah, there's not, yeah, there was no way that those blocks blocked any kind of view. And honestly, that second one that's further down there, nobody wanted to sit anywhere near that thing because it was out in the sun. I get it. We have some events that we would like to move boats for, especially the closer you get to that pavilion. But if it's further down there, closer to where like the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, Land Trust is, it's not gonna make a bit of
I
difference.
hear you.
Are there events specifically that we could put in the dockage agreement that you think the boats should be moved for?
No, I hear what you're saying.
So you changed your mind?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I hear what you're saying.
Margaret, what do you think?
I think that first boat that's always there, I just feel like sun or not, especially 4th of July,
Yeah.
that really brings. And I mean, I have been to a personal event where people have stretched their stuff all the way down that side. And to me, the boats are an interference because you have, well, it could be a liability if you're not watching or paying attention, but with that ramp that's built, hooked right onto there,
Mhm.
you could have children curious trying to go up there. I will also say that the water was hooked up and you couldn't use the water out there. So that's something else I think we need to look at, as far as being on that dock.
Okay, is the water working on the docks?
It worked,
She saw, I think-
but this boat was hooked up to it. You
Okay.
couldn't use it.
Okay,
So, those are the things that's taken away from if somebody has rented that closest one where, if you needed to use water, that was the closest and the boats had it hooked up to it. You couldn't,
you couldn't use it.
no.
Okay.
Are we charging them for one?
No, and that's something else. Randy and I talked to Randy about that, but that would be another work session about the water at both of the parks, the water and electricity that's being freely used.
Now, I will say that the construction of the built-in deck stairs is a bridge too far. And that needs to be addressed.
I don't think that's currently there.
It's not currently there?
That was from 2024.
Okay.
Don't remember seeing it.
I don't remember last week, Andy.
For that boat?
Yeah.
It was there when I went there the other week.
Was
Is that
that
where the guy goes up steps?
Talking
get on
about
the
the
boat?
steps.
Yeah, that's goes up, get on the boat. It was there the other week. That's the one that's got the dinghy on top.
Yeah,
I'll address it tomorrow,
okay.
It was,
because they don't have a permit for that.
yeah, it was there. I mean, it's on the boat. It's on the dock. It's not fastened, I don't think, right to the walkway, but it is sitting on there. You couldn't get by with, I don't think, a wheelchair or something like that.
Pictures got bolts.
Yeah, originally it was attached, I think.
It might have been. I didn't.
I thought I read the
really
bill.
look like that.
Sorry.
Okay.
But I will say 4th of July should definitely be on that document because people stretch out all the way down as far as Main.
I give you that.
All right, you're okay with that?
I give you that.
Okay, July 4th, all right. Any other dates? Any other dates that should be, excuse me, can you tell us what you're saying? I can't hear you. Okay. Are there any other dates that we should have on? Any other events besides July 4th? Okay. All right, do we have go ahead, go ahead.
Mayor, I'm not sure how, will this affect as far as whether we're moving things for the Blessing of the Combine this year down to Sturgis? Will this have any effect on that? Y'all know of it all? I'm just asking.
We're moving out of Sturgis.
They're moving a lot of the vendors down there.
Okay.
And they're gonna be right in the area where the, I met the lady this morning. They'll be right down in the area where the restrooms are.
Mhm.
In that area.
Okay.
Me, I don't think it will. I'm just letting y'all know.
Okay,
It's totally up y'all.
okay.
Well, even before this, I think it needs to be a priority of getting in touch with the folks that are already there. Period.
I know they will have to have water there for the animals, because they need the animals on the pavilion this year down there. So they will have to have water from that, where that boat is.
For the blessings.
They will have to have water for the animals.
So are you saying you think the boat shouldn't be there for blessings? I mean, just in your everyday, day to day. As far as,
If the boat is gonna be there, that's got the walkway, the steps it gets on there, then steps really need to be there.
okay,
As far as the water itself, I could probably put a double-headed spigot on there so he can have water for his boat and he can get water for the animals.
okay,
I'm just saying, you know.
you could do that.
Should there be something that where people have the portable steps for access? They can only have them on the dock as they're getting on or off the boat, otherwise they have to pull it on board. So that it's not out there for other people who would be using the dock.
Well, the only thing is, I don't think the size of these here, what they're made out of, he's using his little crane up top. He sets his dinghy out there on, in the water with, if he need be. He's using that to set them heavy things down there. So once they get off, they can't come back up.
I was about to say, based on the height of those boats, they probably can't put the stairs back on, because if they're like eating in town, they're not gonna be able to get back on the boat to get the stairs. Those are tall.
Because of their height, where they're shown in there, they will have to have a building permit for it to be installed.
Well, it seems to me, and I'm not a voter, but it just seems to me that there should be no confidence that they can block our walkways
Right,
at any time.
I agree.
All right, so are we saying, I'm hearing that we're okay with docking at Bird Park for day use, seasonal, off-season, and transient?
Yes, from me.
Yes. Mr. Lee, yes. Councilperson
Yeah.
Fletcher, yes. Okay. All right, let's talk about Sturgis Park.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mentioned one thing about Sturgis that I heard both Randy and Aaron say, which is that basically they're being washed out and the big boats affect that.
Mhm.
If you continue to have those big boats parked there, you're gonna do further damage to that bulkhead, making your cost to fix it more. So that's one that, just be mindful of not making the situation worse than it already is. Once you have that washout that's coming through, you're in pretty bad shape already.
Yeah, okay. And Larissa is also has in her report some information worried about Sturgis Park.
We even looked at it. Kevin even got down, he even told him, when he's in Ocean City, as the inspector, as in, he showed him that bulkhead, Mr. Phillips. They both leaned in, Mr. Matthews did. And the other gentleman, but and he said, yeah, I understand. That's when we all went to the park.
Okay.
First part's got all the riprap. It's down there, it's all the stuff.
So council, what do you want? There is a recommendation for Sturgis Park, transient and day use, limited to seasonal use only. This is coming from the committee. So how do you feel about that? Do you want that? Transient and day use? And transient means it can be a week or a month, correct? From the definition, can you get that? Do you have that definition for transient, what it covers?
I'm gonna look at it that way today.
It's just not,
Transient is any boat that is a live aboard and visits Snow Hill for a night or multiple nights or any length of time within the seasonal period, the 1st of April to the 31st of October.
okay.
So that's during the
So
summer months.
we're looking at transient and day use boaters.
Again, if you're coming here to see the bald eagle's nest, I think you're probably, with it being 28 miles from the Tangier Sound, you're gonna have to allow some people to spend the night on that boat, on that dock there. It's just too far. Otherwise, if it's only day use, I mean, you have to only live along that river to really use that dock.
Are you okay with transient and day use?
Yes.
For Sturgis Park? You've also,
So I'm thinking before that, I agree with that, but if the bulkhead is that much in need in repair, I think we need to look at repairing it before we can say that transient.
okay. Aaron,
You do have places for transient Gateway and at Bird, limiting the only drawback to transient at Sturgis would be that if you have someone there for several months with a larger boat, that can continue to put stress on the bulkhead. I just want to bring that point up so you keep that in your mind when you're thinking about it. It isn't so much to limit it for view, but for the protection of that bulkhead. Because that bulkhead has gotten the most use and the most abuse. The one above it gets very little at all on Gateway, so it's much stronger and in better condition. The one at Bird Park is, like you said before, is built with riprap and stuff behind it that helps to protect it from washing out. So those Gateway and that one down at Bird are better for transient or long-term use than Sturgis is at this point.
so you're,
The only other downfall, using Gateway, is those big boats are gonna have to get someone open that bridge every time they go
Every
in
time they
and
go
out.
in.
So, and they don't have somebody who stays there all the time.
I know.
That's what everybody think about
We
that.
got about
That's-
4 hours in advance, and I
Yeah.
see them come down there and open it up for a bass fishing boat.
Right,
That's the-
so, I mean, I'm just saying, you take into consideration as well. So it's not just a thing we just go in and out when you want to.
I mean, we could limit transient to a week on that dock, so that you can't spend 3 months on that dock. I mean, what ratio is it really washed away?
I can't think it's been honest.
Sturgis, you're talking about a Gateway?
Up my skirt.
Sturgis. So you want to change transient to week,
Yeah,
just week? And you don't think it should have anything until it's repaired? Is that correct?
Yes, but that's gonna take money from somewhere.
It's gonna be, yeah, a while. So
So
would you
I'm
be
saying I
okay,
would agree.
agree with week and
Yeah.
day until we can get repairs? Okay, and Mr. Lee, you okay with that? All right. Okay, now let's go to Gateway Park. It says transient, seasonal, and day use boaters.
Say it's in better shape. And they know they've got a sign right there that says you gotta call 4 hours in advance. You get that drawbridge.
Yeah,
Is that sign out there?
Yeah,
yeah, it's right there. You
Okay,
can read
I
it.
had on it,
It even has a phone number
it has phone number.
that you can call.
Okay,
I was kayaking down.
Unless they're taking it down since, it had hit him up there.
okay. And so transient, seasonal, and day or Gateway?
I'm fine with that.
You're fine? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Mr. Lee, you're okay with that? All right, so we've got that done. All right, can we look at the docking fees? The docking fees right now are $10 daily, $150 monthly, and $350 yearly. Their recommendations staff, Ms. McAllister's is, he would like us to do a cost analysis. The committee's recommendations are, do you see that page? You got it. Yeah. It's boats 30 feet and over, seasonal rate, April to October, 850 per season plus electricity. Off-season, 500 per season plus electricity, or simply a yearly rate of $1,350. And then they have monthly, weekly, daily, and then electricity prices. Boats under 30 foot, seasonal rate, 650 per season plus electricity, April to October. And then off-season, 400 per season plus electricity, or simply a yearly rate of 1,000 per year. And then it has monthly, weekly, and daily, and electricity. Day use, sun up to sundown, no charge. So what, we have a choice here. We have a cost analysis that we could do for what it costs our staff to take care of this. We can look at their recommendations. Their recommendations are based on 12 marinas, docks that they visited. And they have a list of all of that. So, council, what are your opinions? I think we all feel that the rates are not high enough. Absolutely. It does not, it says it does not include electricity, electrical rate $12 a day when operating. Heat or air conditioning payments are made. Do we charge for water?
We're not charging anything.
No, okay.
They're just paying a regular fee for the day or the week, or however the town has it
Has it set up,
correct.
right?
So,
Cause it has Suicide Bridge, it has Public Landing.
got Slaughter Creek too, when he bought, like, Susan, John Buck, remember?
Yeah,
He's in here. I haven't looked at that.
but I hear that it's not a restaurant yet. It had a fire on it also. Yeah,
Yeah,
some kids got on it.
I haven't talked to him lately. Let's vote that.
So,
Never ending saga.
yeah, right.
That next curve. Next curve.
So tell me how you feel about the rates and what do you think we need to do a cost analysis? Or are you okay with their recommendations based on the 12 places that they visited? Do we need to do, and think about, do we need to do seasonal or just a yearly rate? Make it easy. No. Councilperson Lumpkins, what are your thoughts?
I think that given the market around us, we don't want to be too far out of line, either below or beyond what the other marinas are charging. So I agree with their research. I know that our costs might be different, and some of these other areas, but they can't be that far off.
So are you thinking of seasonal rates or a yearly rate?
I give people the option,
For seasonal
seasonal
and off season? Okay.
So you're gonna have it so people can stay there off season as well?
Well, no, that's not in.
It's not in our thing, ours is seasonal, wasn't it?
What we just
That was
talked
April.
about,
But we just talked about was your
it was
season,
just seasonal.
correct?
So we don't want to add off season,
No, I'm
correct?
not saying y'all done it, that's up to y'all, I'm just saying you need to make sure. what
Because
we're gonna do
we,
here now.
we said for Bird Park, seasonal and off season.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect.
We said for Sturgis, we didn't go in, it says for seasonal use only.
Okay.
And for
It's just
Gate,
season.
and for Gateway, seasonal use. And it says seasonal and day use.
Okay,
So the only off season would be Bird Park.
so we got it in there. Somebody-
Okay, that's what we agreed to.
Right, somebody's gonna see it, do different now.
Okay, so you're okay with what their recommendations are?
Yes.
The committee. Mr. Lee, are you okay with that? Councilperson Fletcher, you're okay with that? Okay, so we're going to follow what the committee has said. Okay. And are we okay with the dockage agreement? Anything else you want to add besides during July 4th, we are recommending that they move their boats? The dockage
The emergency.
number and the
Yeah.
emergency number. I got that on here.
And I think staff generally, because they talked to me about it before, was wanting to just beef it up
Okay,
with more legalese as well.
legalese. Okay,
So we'll take a look at the samples that they already pulled and beyond that, just general beef up. the
beef
entire
up
record.
to cover liability and all of that.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay,
add an email address to it?
I wrote it
Email?
down. Yep.
email,
Got it.
oh, you got it?
Mhm.
Okay,
I think Ms. Fletcher might have said that already.
okay. Now, does that cover everything from the port of Snellville? that you're gonna bring up?
Looking at this, something else I think that we should add to it as the, where you gonna dock it at? The docking place. Does it go from you, seasonal?
Okay. Seasonal, and all season for Bird Park.
And then if somebody's gonna leave their boat there legally, you would need to know, I would say,
Like name the slips or number the
Yes.
slips. and
Number
sign
them.
specific-
That's a good idea.
That's what I was just gonna say. too.
That's a great
Part of
idea.
Signages, we are probably gonna wanna actually mark out slips. And say, give individuals, this is your slip.
So do we have signage at Bird Park right now?
Orange boat slips?
Yes,
No, ma'am.
we need signage, correct? Council,
Just to keep order, yeah.
keep order. Okay, so we need signage. Do you know, take a look at that, Nanacoke River Marine Park rules and regulations. Do you agree with something like this? So it prohibits, but it prohibits. We have, may need to make our own. Because it prohibits fishing, diving, swimming, running, horseplay prohibited on all piers, docks, bulkheads, and vessels within marina. Are we a marina? We're not a marina, are we?
No.
We're a dock.
Fishing is important because both in Gateway, Sturgis and Bird Park, Maryland is free fishing in
Fishing.
that area.
I think Donna from DNR considered this as a marina, where we had the pump out station and all that.
She did. Was she the person who
She pretty much up there.
calls
Mhm.
the
And
shots?
comes down here and looks at the stuff and gives us the brochures at Bird Park, Sturgis Park,
Okay,
Gateway, whatever.
so we are classified as a
I
marina.
can contact her and find out for sure, or the lady that's there with her.
Would they have signage for us?
I don't know if they would have signs like this, it's talking about, people diving, the kid, jumping in and all that off the docks and stuff. I don't know if they have that. But, they do have different species of fish you're supposed to keep, keep blah, 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 and all that,
Okay,
We probably have to make our own.
own signage?
Yeah.
I would say maybe towards the end of the step, because depending on what you put in the code, you may just say something to effect and council may adopt rules and regulations by resolution for the dock. That way, if something comes up, you can add to them, it's not in the code. So I can figure out where we can squeeze that in, and maybe Randy works on the list of rules.
So we need to have, do we already have, who we contact? And the number and everything signage at Sturgis and Bird, and I didn't think we did. I hadn't seen them, but I didn't know where they lied.
It's nothing there, it's nothing.
There's nothing there. So, council, do you want to tell Randy what you think should be on that sign, or Randy, you can give
If
us
y'all want to get
recommendations?
yourselves together, decide what you want on the sign, as far as,
Well, we had, this is together.
okay? y'all
This is
decide-
together. This is what
y'all
we're together.
Decide what y'all want on there. Give it to me, I get the county, make it up, and I have one for each place.
Okay,
All three, Gateway, Sturgis, and Bird Park.
all right.
And, if you want, I will reach out to Donna and ask her if they do consider this as a marina.
Okay. You can, council, you can look here also, but is there anything that you know right now that you want on these signs? So I think we should have who to contact.
This one
Yeah.
here, other than that, they don't have, be able to contact town hall, whoever they want is in contact.
Right,
When, if they want to call ahead time for a stock in here, any information they need to get, that number needs to be on here.
and their phone number. Who
And
to
their
call.
name and phone number, and then after hours as well.
And so are we contacting Justin?
There is some sort of
Docking.
official connection with the town and the state about the marina, because I see a form come across my desk every year
Yes.
that Marty used to sign, indicating that we're in compliance with whatever rules or
Yeah,
regulations are in effect.
this
So
guy,
it should be whoever's gonna be responsible for signing those forms.
Are there a set of rules for marina, or is that?
Is,
I would assume
Chief,
there's
do you
some,
know anything about the rules for specific areas of the town, or?
What you have in front of you from Nanaco covers most of it. I think that's probably is a little more deeper than what we would need, but suggestion would be just put the police department's number. We're the only number that's monitored 24/7. So if they come here and they want a dock or whatever, they can call. We're the only department that has someone working 24/7.
Okay,
So we would just respond there, whatever form they need to fill out, we could hand them the form. It would be somewhat seamless. Obviously, if we're busy, we would tell them, hey, it's gonna be a few minutes, but for after hours.
for after hours,
Obviously, we would prefer they do it Monday through Friday when they can.
when
But,
town hall is open, but after hours would be you.
yeah, I think you just determine what you don't want them to do on the rules.
Okay,
It sounds like, or it looks like Nanaco's got pretty much the most, thorough.
And I think that's a lot better than police as opposed to putting names on, they change
They change.
It comes out.
Yeah, they do. Yes, so we can do that. And these are the things that you have dealt with at our docks in the past. Do you think these cover it well? Except for fishing, we want to have fishing, correct?
Well, that's my concern that we've been recently facing is the children swimming on the river. So,
Yeah.
if we put on these signs, no swimming.
No swimming?
A Marine would have to weigh in on it. I don't know what legally we can do to remove a child from the river if they're violating a sign. I think we will probably have to have something in our code that have some teeth behind it, but typically a sign will help us as far as, doing some enforcement. I don't know how legally we would.
They would need to say that in the code that you're adopting rules and regs by resolution, that's what would ultimately get to your sign. You know, you're actually adopting rules and regs. It'd be a violation of the town code for those rules to be violated, and the person could be cited. Whether you cite a kid or not cite a kid, or you say the sign says you can, or calling your parents and you're, or, you know, cause it's most likely gonna be a juvenile. I don't know that we're citing a juvenile. But at least that's something there to point to them and to their parents that it's not allowed.
Cause I've even seen them swimming across to Goat Island, jump that, boat dock and swim.
You have
across there.
seen that?
Yes, I have. I
I
was
have.
terrified.
You have to?
I watched
seen
two kids come from the cannery over to Sturgis. And they had to float for a while to make it because the current was.
So.
Yeah.
strong.
We got that Friday, you know, that looked like the boat get somebody with, about the boat. There's probably 7 or 8 of them. The other Friday, they were out, last Friday, they were out there again.
I think that that should be as strong as possible. Because the town may be liable or could be held liable if it doesn't speak to that issue and then child jumps in, and why didn't you tell me? So I think that the thing of a little fear to parents who see that would be helpful. But I just think he almost a warning. I think, have you ever seen where that they put in the reason why no swimming, for example, you know, strong currents? I think it should be as strong as possible to instill fear on both, you know, to help mitigate against that. But I remember that river, that river has claimed many lives. And, I just think people don't know. To some degree, people do not know the strength of that river inside.
Also,
Warning,
around the
warning.
marina, you have to be very careful that you're not having people in the water where boaters can't see them. And actually hitting them with the boats, because I've seen that happen 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
You'll come in there early at the 4th of July fireworks at Sturgis Park. Fireworks are what, 8:30, 8:45, something like that. Come down there around 5, 6 o'clock, watch how many people are in that river.
Yeah, I've seen, I saw them last week.
But anyway, as far as, the number of boat slips, is that they're going to depend on the, access to one and the left. So if I've got 4 at one place, there'll be 4 boat slips. Or does that depend on the size of the boats? I just need to know how y'all want to take and do this.
I mean, if a 60-foot boat takes up 2 slips and they're gonna pay for 2 slips.
Okay, but I'm gonna number them, just number each one
The
of them,
number,
each one of them pounds. It's 1, 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanna make sure we're all right.
And
I
then
got no-
maybe you could put like, if you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, it could be per B 1, 2, 3, 4. S for Sturgis or something like that. So when it's on the paperwork and they have it in town hall, the application, if they see it's S1, they know it's Sturgis Part 1 or something like that. They wouldn't have to write out.
I'll let them.
so will the boat have to put something on their boat to show us that they're legally there? I mean, like.
Like a permit or something.
Like a permit or a,
Building permit with the yellow form, get the building permits.
uh-huh,
Put it in the window saying this is your.
saying this
permit.
is, this, yeah, that you gotta have that on your boat.
You can paint the number, you could actually just like there's posts so far apart. You could almost set it up to where you don't have to paint anything on, but you could actually paint the cap at either end, the posts at either end, because they have aluminum caps. You paint that with B1, you know,
Put the number on the
put the
post.
number on it, so you don't have to paint a lot of things. You just paint it like red with a white number on top of it for starters. Blue with a white number.
Smart, yeah, that is smart, yeah, very smart, got a system, way to do it.
I was thinking about it last weekend. I went back and was trying to figure out.
I'm between now and we Friday, you and I need to get together if you don't mind, and we'll get,
Absolutely.
So are you
we'll number these. Okay,
good? Yes.
and, y'all just get straight on what you want, how you want, which one you want to go to as far as the wording, as far as what you want at the Sturgisburg and Gateway,
Mhm.
or as people for swimming and.
Do you want these, are you okay with these rules that are on this page? Council? Do we need to go through each one of them, or? You okay with them? So the first one, you want all of this except for fishing?
Correct.
So fishing is marked out. Okay, number 2, only registered vessel owners and guests permitted on docks, and no unsupervised children under 16 permitted.
I don't think you want anybody on the docks.
No,
You want them setting up their lawn chairs along the docks?
No?
You know, a lot of kids get in there.
Yeah.
Fish, even though not even.
It's just for walking.
I would, yeah, there are a lot of unsupervised kids fishing down there, particularly now on some.
So do you want to just delete number 2? That no part, do you want to, what do you want to say?
That's a public access right now, and that should be restricted.
you know, like, no unsupervised children under 16, and then we probably need that.
Do you want anybody on the docks? Owners and guests putting chairs up on the docks? What? Give us your opinion on this.
I mean, what they're. I mean, so these rules are for what, everybody that comes to the park? Or are these supposed to be directed at your dockers that have signed dock agreement? Cause that's 2 different things, right?
Mhm.
You can direct the sign to say attention voters, or you can direct the sign to say attention voters and visitors,
Mhm.
or anglers. You can restrict, I will tell you, the less words on the sign, the cheaper it's gonna be. When you start getting, I'm sure this sign right here in front of us from Nanacook was expensive, because that's a lot of,
That's a lot.
it's a lot, so.
And then you probably don't want a lot of words because people don't read when it's a lot of.
When a
words.
lot.
They probably pay attention to
Right.
something short.
So it's like 5 items enough? Are any of these that are listed important to us? And let's just say voters and visitors. Try to get it all in one sign. Is that cheaper?
Voters and anglers.
Voters and anglers.
We could probably take off number 10.
So voters would be anglers, right? So
Mhm.
you want,
Voters and fisher,
and Fisher, not visitors.
won't be visitors.
Okay, so take off number 10.
Unauthorized overnight parking prohibited, we have that at number of our docks.
Difference with number 2 is if it's actual marina where you walk out a dock, you walk out a pier, and there's actually slips. That's why number 2 exists, because if it's a private marina, I don't have a boat there, I shouldn't just be wandering the docks. That's why number 2's here. You guys are a public park with slips on your bulkhead. So the Nanacoke situation is not necessarily the same as yours. So that's why the number 2 doesn't fit so well, because you will have public that are
That's public.
walking the docks. If you want to have, say, something but unsupervised children, generally, that's a different story. But the part that only register vessels and their owners and guests are permitted on the docks makes no sense for you all, because any of us can go down and walk that dock right now, or should be able to.
Any others that you think should be a part of the rules, or anything that you guys come, if you want to make. up
Number
your own.
11 is a good one, that's,
Excessive alcohol, noise, and disorderly conduct prohibited. You like that one? Okay, that's one.
What about crabbing? Crabbing's not mentioned. You got the,
Which one?
so we're striking out fishing, but crabbing, do you care if people are crabbing there?
There's no crabs.
If they catch crab in the river, I won't say.
No. It's a little
That's
deep
what
for that.
they-
I'm not your chin, we're at the bottom of that.
No, fishing off the docks?
What?
Are you getting rid of fishing off the docks?
No, they're.
No, we're not. We're
Taking
marking
off
that,
I miss-
we're
I
marking
miss-
that out. So we have number 1 and we have number 11.
No, what about, number 7? Because we do not have a, fuel docking area.
Okay, take that out.
Or just want to say there's no refueling here, period.
Yeah. but-
No refuel.
Yeah, we don't have any place to fuel. I mean, as far as that, I do know that it's happened. But. you
No
know,
refuel. Okay. At marina. If it is a marina. Okay, any others?
Doing anything on there about no pump station? For any sewage?
Says sewage one tanks shall be dumped at marina pump out facility in compliance with state and federal laws. You just might say sewage shall only be disposed of in accordance with federal and state laws.
But you should also put something there.
But, for that number 8, we gotta make sure we get ours either going or a new one put in.
Cause we can't.
How
handle
much does
sewage.
that cost?
It's around $18,000. I think the, lady McDonald told me the other week. I printed it off and sent it, I forwarded it anyway. And, this town can take, it's gonna take around 6 to 8 weeks to have it done. You have to order it. When it comes in, they'll get ready, they'll send you the bill. You can pay half that bill up front. And they will take and reimburse you before the other part of the bill comes in. If the town is short on money, is what they said, so you're paying in 2 parts.
And we would have to have any, because
I just moved it off my desk this morning.
you would have to have, you'd have to have absorbent material and a spill recharges there too. If that's the case.
So are we saying?
And we can only pump out certain boats with the one we got.
Oh,
We've been through all that.
okay.
The bigger boats, it won't do it
They
at all.
won't do it.
No, we won't.
Is it worth having a pump out
so I
station?
was getting ready to say, should we have it? or
Even
not?
have it.
I don't know how that affects our mark being a marina man. Depends on, I don't know.
So maybe ask the lady you keep mentioning, but
Donna?
we need to keep the pump out station to stay a marina,
Yeah,
which may affect DNR grant.
that's
funding.
correct. That is cool. That's the way I take it, but I'm not the.
DNR grant, okay.
That's the way I take it though.
Okay,
So I myself, I think it should be in there. I just think we need to get our stuff fixed if we're gonna have, as soon as possible. As the town can in some form, whether it be repair the old
so
one.
we could possibly get a grant for it.
We said Senator Rosa might be able to help us with some grant funding,
Mhm.
that she's anxious to help.
Okay,
Cause they, she said the town could get it and it would be able to get the money and all. But it just takes a few little bit for the grant, you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah, takes a while. So we have 1, and we have 11, and we have no refueling at Marina. For number 7. And what else? The sewage one, what about that? How you want that worded?
I can work with Randy on the sewage wording once he talks to Donna.
Okay, once he talks to Donna, you'll work on this. And then, I'll send it to council to take a look at. Is that okay with council?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So, anything else about the Snow Hill dock?
Over price. We covered signage,
Signage. We covered,
where they're gonna dock it and how long.
how long at each park. And the system we're going to have for the document
It's an
itself,
application.
the application. Okay,
So that's
Great.
everything.
yeah. Everything we move on,
Okay.
what, okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
And this on to tell them where to go to get the
yes.
information.
Information. Okay, number 2, report from Fines and Fees Committee on Town Facility Rental Rates and Water and Sewer Hookup Fees. All right, if you take a look at the, chart that has the rental policies and the fines, Randy, you wanna talk a little bit about this as far as this chart, or? No? This is for the parks. Fees for, well, let's just go through the rest of this. It has the park fees for Bird Park and Sturgis Park. And
And train station.
and the train station. And it has in the information in your packet, it has the code that we have right now. Chapter 131, penalties, fees, fines, and other charges. And this first chart is proposed now. We also have the agreements and how they're written for train station, Bird Park, and Sturgis Park. And it has the rules. And it also, in the packet, has what Worcester County Rec Department looks like as far as their permits and regulations. And it also has Ocean and Pines Recreation and Parks Department and how they set theirs up. So it's a lot of information. So we can start on the recommendations for the rentals for Bird Park, Sturgis, and train station. And the hourly minimum. And if people need extra, the alcohol permit, the extra tables, public works, all of those. So,
The prices definitely need to go up,
okay,
because that's like the other week, we had,
so right now, it's It's mostly, if you take a look at right now, the train station is $75 and a deposit of 50. And except for general public Friday or Saturday is 150 with a deposit of 50. And then the parks are 75, general public's 100. And that's talking about profit, nonprofit. And they get a return, if they clean up everything, they get a return of $50. So the prices need to go up, and the reason why is,
Well, as far as the stocking the bathrooms, cleaning everything when everybody's done. And like, especially when you have two events, sometimes they're running on Saturday, then the church will have it on Sunday. Well, this happened already a couple of times this year, and I didn't know it. I'm not the one who does the paperwork on it, so Justin did it, so he had to come in and make sure everything's cleaned up, and it's Ron helping. But I mean, they still got restock and all that, and the electric, the water, you know, everything that they're using. And then, you figure the wear and tear on all the tables, stuff like that, picnic tables and all. I mean, I know it's public park. But we're just gonna, you know, of course, we want to get all these tables and all. And then you figure, just maintenance overall with it.
okay. So the recommendation, let's say I go in and I'm having a baby shower in the train station. And so the recommendation is
Well, man,
a 4-hour minimum, so that's $400. Okay, and if I'm a nonprofit, it's 110 an hour, and for-profit is $120 an hour.
I'm assuming the reason they got this.
So did this change? Cause mine is on $80 an hour.
Train station I've got for individuals 100.
For,
I know now it is.
but
But
you're,
when I added this, it was $80
for what? For the new price?
for the hours, yeah. So I think this has been changed.
Well, this has for Bird Park 75 and Sturgis Park is 75. But
Right.
you're saying train station was 80? When was that?
I'm thinking it was 80 because when I added these up. I did it by the hour so I could see how much it was gonna be for a total. But that's irrelevant. I'm going by this and I can add it up. But I think, for a train station, $400 is a lot for the train station. It's not big as the fire. I could see the fire. But the train station is not big as large as, and it is not gonna hold as many people.
Okay, well, what would be your recommendation?
My recommendation is not an hour. I think a flat fee,
Okay,
just like,
Well, then we got to consider the time they're setting up. They're gonna be using the electric and all that.
right,
The time they're setting up for baby showers and then when they're cleaning up at the end or whatever it might be. I'm not saying what to do. I'm just saying you gotta take all that into consideration. I didn't write these rates.
I know.
But
And I
I
know
know
it
people that
be
gets,
decent
most people
time.
that gets that, they're gonna come there Friday and they're gonna set up. So then on Saturday. And they're just gonna, they're gonna be there a couple, 3 hours on Friday and they're gonna be there doing the event and then they're gonna be there less time cleaning up, is what it seems like to me. Cause it takes less time taking the decorations stuff down than it does take to get them up, you know, to look like they want.
Well, it says they can be in there from 8 to 7, from 8 o'clock in the morning. The thing of that is they're being allowed to pick up the key the night before,
That's correct.
so they can go in. But the train, the Lions Club is,
What is theirs?
theirs is, I'm not mistaken, it's $500.
Okay.
And we're gonna say
Wow.
$400 for the train station, but you can get the key the night before.
So when you get that key, you can go in and you
And
can start your
Go
stuff.
in and start your stuff. You still not paying no more than that $500.
Right.
They have, and you pay $100 extra if you wanna use the kitchen and facilities.
We don't have a kitchen. at the train
And,
station.
well, that's what I'm saying, I'm comparing,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
And they hold more people. I understand the price of it going up, yes, but we don't want people to not have functions if we're gonna be willing to rent something out and be much more more expensive than a larger facility.
Bottom line is, I don't think that we wanna be in a position to price people out. And that's what this is. You know, origin of this matter coming before the council and the town, the involvement. And these draconian ostensibly measures is resonating in the town. So as legislators, we have to be very, very careful to let people know they have responsibilities, we have responsibilities. And, you know, there's no free lunch. By the same token, we don't wanna come off, I don't want to see the council come off as taking punitive measures on people, on residents. So I'm conscious of that because that's in the bush.
Well, let's, all y'all come up with an agreement, what y'all want as far as the price y'all want to charge for whatever it is. And then that way we can move right on.
Okay.
Now, ultimately, it's y'all's decision anyway.
So what are your suggestions, your recommendations for, let's start with the train station. What are your recommendations? Do you want a flat fee? Do you want it by the hour? And what are you looking at as far as, we have to make a decision on this, soon. Because we keep coming back to it, and I know all of us are trying to be fair. We're trying to think about all the people in our community. But we're also thinking about staff and the time staff has to put into it, and we have to pay our bills also. So we need to think about all those factors. I know it's not an easy decision. But if you have recommendations right now, please speak your piece. Tell us what you think. This should
I
be
say a flat fee in that, and then I'm gonna just wait for everybody else.
Okay. A flat fee. Do you know what flat
What's
fee
the amount?
Huh?
amount? Because you have contacted Lions and you know what Lions does. We also know the firehouse. I think that's like 1,000.
Yeah.
That's like 1,000. But they have, and do they charge more for kitchen probably?
Yes, they charge.
Charge
extra
more for
fee
kitchen?
Kitchen.
Who else rents in town?
They're the only two right now. Because they used to be, the schools don't do it anymore unless it's
Yeah.
a church.
Church, yeah.
but, it was Firehouse, Lions Club,
Does Diana Nolte
um,
rent hers out, or she has probably enough business?
she does birthday parties.
Right,
And I forgot how many people that she, that's allowed in her little area there. But I think she's strictly, but she has opened it up if
if
she told me
needed,
if somebody needed a
Needs it.
meeting or something there
yeah,
that I could recommend.
yes, yes. Right,
Those are only places. That was,
So we all think a flat fee should be, flat rate.
our councilperson Lee,
I mean, before I answer that, would you tell us the current fee? Person who rents that, train station. And for 4 hours, normally it's rented for what? Help.
it's,
It's
it's
on here.
normally, they have that, it's the $75 plus the deposit, which is $125, and usually it's $200.
So that's
If
what
it's
they're
on the
paying to
weekend.
rent the hall now,
Yes,
For how many hours?
for
It's on the
all day.
weekend.
It's
$200.
300.
from
It's,
8 to,
I mean, it's 150 plus 50, 200.
yeah.
Is it $200 then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can get the 50 back, and
Yeah,
everything's
back.
clean.
So you subtract 50 off 200, then it comes out to 150, and that's for all day.
Mhm.
All day.
And they have it from 8 to 7. Except for if they're having a meeting.
And does that cover, in your opinion, does that cover your time with Public Works?
The $150, it don't cover, it won't cover the electric for the 8 hours, and it won't probably cover the public works time, cleaning it up before, make sure everything's this. When you get done, we always clean it out. If they even clean it up, if so, we still make sure
You
we're.
still clean it out.
That's correct. The main thing is about birds, if they don't, because people that, we have seen it, most people don't. If they leave their trash inside, and that's their all weekend, and we don't go back in there until Monday or Tuesday, if it happens to be like that, then you have a lot of flies and all that stuff.
Yeah, so if Public Works has to go on the weekends, that's overtime.
If they have to go on weekends, it is, and that's why, and I was not being out of the way, I just told them, look, we're not going to does this, you need to pay attention. He said, well, I'm gonna take care of it, I messed up, I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Cause I was gonna have to pay the guys, 2 guys to come in. They can do that.
All right, so I'm coming back to you again. If you want a flat fee like we've had in the past, what do you think it should be? And you're talking about all day, you're talking about 12, how many hours? 8 to 7.
They can have 8 to 7.
Have you put a time, have you put a factual dollar, the current calls from your department? And
Well, it varies from time to time, really. What it is, depends on how bad it is as far as this time opposed to next time. And as far as them, you might have some that only goes there and they use it for 4 hours and not all day, so. It'd be kind of hard to base it on that as far as how much of the actual stuff.
is there,
But it's up to you all to decide how much you want.
but I'm asking a question. What's the practicality of stipulating to a person who rents duties and tasks to be that are attached to the contract? Say, leave it like, if it said, leave it like you find it. If you do,
they get their deposit back. As it is right now, if they leave it like it is, they get $50 back, correct?
They still get $50 back.
They get their $50 back.
I'm trying.
Or the deposit, whatever the deposit.
Where I'm trying to get to.
$50.
Ms. Fletcher's got it all right there on the thing, she wants to explain it, I'm hearing what you're saying. But she's got it all right there, if she wants to tell you exactly how much it is. I'm not the one that takes care of the billing up there, is the only thing I'm saying, I don't get into all that.
They get $50 back.
Out of the 200,
With no damages or nothing. It's like it was when they're, when it's inspected.
Well, it says $200 for a deposit, security deposit. Wouldn't they get the full 200 back?
Oh, that's on that paper.
That's the new,
That's not.
oh, that's the old one.
Yeah, I'm talking about currently.
So whatever security deposit, this says $200 for an individual. If I'm going in and using train station, that I'll get my $200 back if everything's clean and not anything's broken.
Mr. Lee, yes, the agreements to use the places can give them a list of things they have to get done. I.e. take the trash out. I think that's what you were getting at. What their responsibilities are. The agreements probably have that, some of that in there now.
Yeah.
All that's in there.
They do. and
That
they-
still doesn't make the people do it. And then, so then what's the recourse? The recourse is to keep the security deposit, whatever that security deposit is, to make up for the time of public works staff that has to do it. The other thing is if they violate the agreement, then you're having me draft a letter to them for them violating the agreement. So then that's a cost. You know, and those are costs that you're not gonna recover at that point. So yes, the agreements should have the responsibilities of the renters in it. And we know we're gonna revise all of them to make sure you guys have what you need. But people just don't always abide by those agreements, which is why Randy's cleaning up trash after.
it's in the,
These
one,
rules.
this here is for Sturgis Park. The one they got.
Well, for the train station, you gotta bring your own trash can.
The only trash can,
That's what it says.
well, they need to take it out, because we bought trash.
Bring your own trash.
Like I say, I don't get
container.
into them as far as that. I just know what we've got to do. But there's two trash cans in there. We provide bags.
Place
They
in
don't provide any
bags
bags or anything.
from the train station. Well, this said, place it in bags. Tell you have to bring your own bag, but
We provide, the town provides the bags and the cans.
so that needs to be checked on here.
Yeah, because these
That's not-
applications and rental agreements are for each park and the train station. And it has all the rules and regulations in your packets. Any other questions as far as that will help you determine what you think should be the rent?
That's the, for the train station, a gallon, following.
Okay.
I kind of feel like if you're gonna use it for 8 hours, you should be charged for 8 hours. I go rent a kayak, they're gonna charge me by the hour. So if the longer it's rented, I don't know, I feel like a flat fee makes it a lot easier, a lot more straightforward. But I think an hourly rate covers our costs better.
Or are you saying, okay, you can use it for 4 hours, you tell us what time during the day you can use it for 4 hours and we'll charge you this?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we have $400 for 4 hours for train station. We have 4 hours for Bird Park, we have $300. We have Sturgis Park, that's for individual. But then they have nonprofit and they have for profit also. Is that all in the code? Is that why we have all of this and we also have out of town? This is all in the code?
This is new, where you guys are distinguishing between nonprofit and profit and individuals, and that's a new breakdown,
That's a new breakdown.
but you do have fees in the code currently. I think.
During our session.
It's nonprofit here. That's already, this is the code. Current.
So under
And
the chapter,
basically, all of they basically all have the same price.
Mm.
in our present code.
Yes,
Okay.
To be honest, we probably shouldn't distinguish between whether it's a religious service or a religious event, or if you're gonna have a breakdown, have it profit, nonprofit, treat everybody similarly.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they're having. If you're going to break it down for an individual nonprofit.
Because this is the code, right? Chapter 131, because it has a religious event nonprofit already. So that's the reason why she's got it in here also.
I think a bunch of other jurisdictions had something similar as where that, some of that came from too.
Okay. So do you think we should keep with these numbers for 4 hours? And they can pick their hours? Like 10 to 2 or 2 to 6 or do you think that if they want it for 8 hours, then they have to pay for it? And we just set a rate per hour, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
You think you agree with this?
I mean, are we still covering ourselves at an hourly rate? Or do those, you're saying those rates need to go up?
They need to go up from what we've been paying. From what they've been paying hourly, they need to go up.
Okay.
Because this is a flat, what we have now presently is a flat fee.
And what would that come out to for 8 hours? If you divide
And
that,
that's 8 hours of $75 for 8 hours. That doesn't
if you
seem,
divide
that
that
doesn't seem
into 8
fair.
hours, we've got.
That
That
doesn't
ain't
seem fair.
covering, that's not covering any electric.
That's not covering, no, it's not.
Toilet paper, it ain't covering nothing.
75 times 8 is 600.
600?
So 600.
Or do you want to limit it for lower amounts? Do you want to limit it to? I mean, most people, how long do they use it? Randy? Does it vary or is
It
it
just,
like 4 hours?
every time it varies.
Is it average, is 4 hours or more? Do you know?
Anybody who normally gets to places around 24 hours, because they get the key on Friday night and they normally set up Friday afternoon, Friday night.
Because it might take an hour to set up and an hour to clean up.
So I mean, that's 2 other hours and then they're, and I'm not, baby showers, they're gonna be there long, 2 or 3 hours for a baby shower. And
no
I'm,
more than 4 usually.
No more.
No more than 4
Yeah.
usually for a baby shower.
No,
it's 4 hours for a baby shower, so.
yeah, 4 hours.
And then you figure an hour.
So
for
it's 6
the night
hours.
before, whatever, so you 5, 6 hours, whatever. Then you have people that gets, has, some folks have, family reunions in there. I mean, it's like, it just varies.
Okay. Okay, with all that from Randy, where do we go from here? You want to keep with this?
And Lee, what y'all think for the rate, both of y'all? A flat rate,
Well,
how would y'all want to figure it?
I kind of like the fact that it's kind of like a menu and you can pick and choose what you need, like, if I need concession stands or if I need a picnic tables, like that are tailored to my event. Now, a flat fee doesn't take any of that into account, but, at least here I have a menu of services to choose
From
from.
what you can
which is
choose, and then you
more
can add it up
to
with what
the
you want.
reality of what people are going to be looking for.
Right.
But can I tell you, straighten that out about the flat rate?
Mhm.
The flat rate, I meant Bird Park,
Just a route.
Sturgis Park, or train station.
Just a straight route.
Yes,
But you agree
but I
with,
didn't,
But the
I
rest of that,
wasn't talking about.
you weren't talking about the rest of this, so this would be okay if anybody wanted to add things. Okay. All right, so we've got that done. Now let's look at the top part again. What is a good flat fee, if that's what you want, or you think it should be what per hour if you have 8 hours?
I can't see anything going out. You can take down everything. It's like a whole work day.
What's your flat fee? What do you think that flat fee, how much?
I'm staying without wait.
Okay, I'm going,
All right.
I'm like the auctioneer here. 35, give me 10, give me 100.
I'll
Either way, it's good on-
Give me,
Staying.
Can I make
I'll
a
be
compromise,
I'll
please?
be honest with you,
Can I make a compromise?
I have a lot of problem with this. The origin and what this represents, I know we gotta do something, but it's not setting well with me what this represents. I'm gonna tell you, it is not setting well with me. So I'd rather be quiet now and see what comes out of it.
Well, Aaron, it's up to you.
$400
this-
train station, flat fee.
okay, Aaron, did you have something else you want to
There
add?
can be a compromise here too. I mean, it can be a 4-hour session at a flat fee. But if you go over it, then you can have a per hour.
Yeah,
I think that's the way the chart is set up, though.
But I
Minimum,
think
No.
that's what they were trying to do.
no,
Well,
It's saying you have to rent it for a minimum of
4 hours. Gotcha,
Yes.
gotcha.
But
so, okay,
just a
Aaron,
flat fee
That-
to satisfy Margaret's concern,
for 4 hours.
4 hours. And then instead of having to adjust it between the days, if they wanted to take more or stay longer, then they get charged additional. Or they pay additional. So if they come and say, well, 4 hours isn't gonna work for us, we need it for 6. Then we have to pay for 2 extra hours.
I think that's what it's saying now.
So I think that's what they were trying to achieve with that.
But I think what Ms. Fletcher's saying is that what if they only wanted for 2, they shouldn't have to pay for 4. Is that
Well,
part of
I'm,
it?
Still have to
no,
cover
I'm
it.
just saying flat fee for it.
For the day.
For
For the whole day.
I mean, do we ever have events that really overlap? Like where we have, I went to train station 4 hours in the morning and then 4 hours in the evening.
No,
No, we don't have
I'm the
two,
same
we don't
way.
have 2 renters in one day.
Yeah,
It's
so,
always a different day.
so it really wouldn't matter.
That hasn't happened yet. I would say it's not gonna happen.
Okay, so what can we come up with for flat fee for all day? Are we looking at 400? For train station? And 300 for Bird and Sturgis? 300.
okay, well, this is what I'm gonna say. As we looking at a flat fee. So we looking at a flat fee. But if we leave this security deposit at $200, now, I'm just using as an example what Aaron, what Aaron put out there. Aaron said 4. So if they're gonna pay 400 and the security deposit is 200, we're only making $200 profit off of this. So this security deposit doesn't make sense when you're gonna give a flat rate. And if you're gonna,
I believe the 200 is in addition to 4. So they have to
Yeah,
deposit,
You have
a
to
check
give
for
the
$200.
deposit,
We hold that deposit.
but you get it back if you clean up.
And I know everybody has heard me say this before, but just remember our fees are just to recover costs. We can't make.
We don't make profit, it has to cover our costs.
Yes.
Randy's saying-
That's why Randy's given his opinion about covering.
So you all decide how much.
If not, I mean, if we can't make up our mind, we have to stick with what we already have.
You said the Lions Club is 500.
that's including security.
That includes security.
That includes security deposit,
Do you know how much the security is?
150.
150.
Okay. That's something.
Please.
Maybe this has come up in the earlier discussions with Peace and Finance Committee. If the goal is to cover our costs, and that's why, I'm glad Maureen said what she did, because we could have been going into this exercise thinking, we're the owners of 3 valuable pieces of property from which we could make a profit. We were trying to, increase revenues just because of their attractiveness and their marketability as places to rent. But if we are limited to a fee structure that simply recovers our cost, that is a responsible thing to do, because once again, as we've all mentioned a number of times, we're merely the caretakers of these properties on behalf of every resident of Snow Hill taxpayer. And so we have a moral obligation, if not a legal obligation, to recover what taxpayer dollars we're spending in order to make these facilities available. What I'm wondering is, based on a year's activity, can Randy go through the various projects and rentals that have taken place and come up with a target expense or an average expense with each one? And then maybe we can identify somehow the typical birthday party lasts so long, we spend $1,000 in providing that facility. A typical family reunion typically takes this much effort, this much money. If there's a way to fine tune the relationship between the activity and the cost, and then base the fees to cover those costs that way, it's not always going to be perfect science. Some will make some money on some, will lose money on others, but the closer we can identify the expense to the event and build the fees around that, I think satisfies our obligation. Now, again, the devil's in the details.
I think it's going, no figures, I guess, I don't know. I don't have anything to go back on.
No, I understand.
Oh,
Well, I also can say going forward, because I think that Lou and I had talked about it before, was like watching the electric bills, the utilities for different places and departments. That could also be a way too, if we could go back that way and look at it. That's just a thought of making.
I've kept track of the big events. Fourth of July, Blessing Combines, and of course the Rose Seafood Festival and all that. But I never, ever, because I wasn't really involved in when people come to rent the train station, Bird Park, or any of that. We just gotta make sure everything's clean, the trash cans have all been dumped, we make sure it's all done when it's over with, grass is cut, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
So now you're saying you don't do that, Justin does that, or Justin just booking it?
I'll never book.
Okay,
I don't book.
all right.
It's always been in town hall. Whoever the clerk is,
Melissa or Justin?
or Justin.
Justin knows it now.
Justin's doing it now, and he just started, that's why he got
He
mixed
just
up.
started.
And got a couple of them right there, yeah, back to back. Yeah, I've never done that.
What we're trying to do is base our
Right.
amount of money based on what staff has to do, et cetera.
And the cost of everything
And the
else.
cost of utilities and the cost of, so I think that's where we're kind of short, that we're not sure, but we're looking at Lions Club. And we're looking at the new firehouse and how big they are and what they pay. In here is Worcester County Rec from the Park and Parks Department. And it talks about all the pavilions and it goes over their daily rental fee. And when the reservation must be paid, it has to be paid in full to hold the date. You can't just call them. You have to have paid for it.
That's in here too. It's also in our still, I'm being sure I.
Right.
Out.
Okay, and deposit is non-refundable unless canceled due to inclement weather. I mean, they have all rules and regulations. I don't see what Ocean Pines charges. on this
I
one.
didn't see that.
I think you have to go with, although it says alcohol beverages, you gotta have $100 one-day alcohol permit, and you have to have liability insurance, which we've also told, people that, when they're renting, that they have to have insurance. Although it looks like in Parks and Recs, they just have stipulation that they are not responsible.
Right.
All injuries are responsible of the user. There is no insurance or indemnity provided by Worcester County protecting the user. User should, shall indemnify and hold harmless county commissioners of Worcester County, et cetera. So they have a statement like that, and I think we have something in our permits that says that, but we do ask that people get their own insurance. So that's also something that, we
And I also
require.
have seen noted in their contract too, that neither one of these parts, that they have electricity or water for you.
In Worcester County.
Yes,
Every location you look at is gonna be a little different. Some are gonna provide,
right.
Provide this and some don't. Yes.
just depends. Are you guys fine with the breakdown of the individual, nonprofit, for-profit, and having those being different rates? Do you agree on that part of it?
Oh, yes.
I do.
Mhm.
That's really,
Anyway, no.
This what is on the chart, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
that's another thing you sort of can cross off your list if you agree to it.
So you agree with a security deposit of 200 for nonprofit and 200 for?
I just mean having those
No,
three different
having the
categories.
categories.
Having the categories.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
So categories, yes. So, well, what you're down to is train station for Park and Sturgis and what you want the rate to be.
Because the rest you're okay with.
Yeah, the rest you're all in agreement on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shooting in the dark here until I know what our real costs are.
How do we determine our real costs? I mean, do we have to go back through all our records in town hall and look at all our bills and all our rentals for the past, how many years?
But in this basketball court, I just realized that basketball court's on here. So we're gonna charge those by hour?
We should pay them to use them.
You could go through and look at the last year's energy costs, insurance, heating and cooling for the train station.
Same time responsibility.
You can look at how many,
No. see.
Randy can sit down and figure out about how many hours he has and how many people he has in each event.
See.
For an event, so you would be able to get the cost of the employees, the cost of maintaining the train station. You can get an idea what the cost of maintaining the part of the Sturgis pavilions would be.
Does anybody know if Melissa already did that?
They may have, they didn't say
Did
it.
they already do that? No,
No, I think they were just looking at neighboring communities.
neighboring communities. So how many hours will that take to do all that? Can you get that information quickly?
Or it's how. Exactly what you want. I couldn't understand what it's talking about. So,
We'd have to ask Teron, you would have to do like you did for the fire hall. When you sat down and figured out how much it was costing us to maintain the fire hall. And to use the fire hall, he would have to do that. I don't know how long it would take him. And Randy would have to sit down and figure out how many hours he has in each event. And how many people.
we just come to an agreement, some type on what we want to rent these places for. Or just some.
It's a lot of work, and it's gonna be months.
I mean, it'd be forever, I would be forever. I can't believe we can't come to an agreement that is fair for the citizens and is fair to the town. We make a little money on it this time, you're not supposed to make any, you go less next time, you don't make it. Just be fair to everybody across the board and come to some type of please agreement. I know we can do it, it's no doubt in my mind. We know what we're getting now is not enough. Maybe what is being asked for is way too high, so we can just hit a happy medium.
So we're looking at mostly 75 and then a deposit of 50 right now. So what can we do that will be fair
Correct.
if we go with the flat rate? I'm hearing flat rate, but I'm not sure.
Man, it's gonna be up to you, because anybody, you know,
Well, I made my.
right, so we just come to some.
Karen, you say what you feel, and she'll say she'll respond.
Largely because these places aren't double booked in a day. If we wanted to do a flat rate, I really don't see that being a problem, even in the foreseeable future, like they just, you know, somebody's gonna rent the train station one day, probably, nobody will probably rent it for another 2 weeks. So if we wanted to do just a flat rate and just say train station, I think, what was it, $400? Be $100 less, but I mean, the deposit would probably have to come down.
Okay, so we're saying 400 for the flat rate for the train station, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and, what about Bird Park? 300 and Sturgis? 300, okay, so that's what he's saying. And is that for individual, nonprofit and for profit? Across the board? For a flat rate?
At that price, I think you have to kind of stick to this.
Okay, across the board, okay. Okay, so security deposit, what is that? We have 200 here, what kind of security deposit?
I mean, for the train station, if it's at 400, I would drop the security deposit to $100.
Okay,
And that way we're in line with the Lions Club.
okay,
That's
and
our best.
Lions Club is 150,
It's the most comparable venue, I feel,
What do you say?
to the train station.
$100,
So I would drop the
security deposit,
That would get us to 5, which I think the train station is comparable to the Lions Club, minus the kitchenette.
Bird Park, 100, security, or you're saying for all of these or less?
Just remember for the security deposit, the intent is if they've damaged it or caused the staff to do more work, just like renting a property. If you're the landlord, you rent a property, normally it's 1 month's rent is what the security deposit. I'm not saying you guys do that. Just remember the intent is so the town has the funds to make a repair. Someone says punches a hole in a wall. You know, and what Margaret was just
Yeah.
asking me was,
But that doesn't,
well, what if the damage is more than the security deposit? I want to put the 50 was way too low.
Too low,
for the
yes,
security
Yes,
deposit.
yes,
100 may still be a little low, the 150 at the Lions Club may sounds like,
but I mean, if somebody throws a chair through a window, we still have the capability to go out there and make that pay for that. We still take them to court.
well, I think
Don't need to-
that one,
makes money.
yes, all that takes money and legal time. If there's vandalism, the chief can speak into dealing with someone who actually vandalizes the property when they're there. So that takes you into a criminal realm and reimbursement of expenses. We've just obviously gone through that if someone did something to our old firehouse. And what's Margaret was speaking to me about is that, see, we beef up the language in here to say if there's damages above and beyond security deposit that, you'll be billed. You'll be invoiced for that.
Good.
$100,
So
$150.
something to that effect added.
Good.
So it would be,
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
$150.
Other than the event that took place that precipitated much of this, and I asked you the same question, I'm gonna come back to you with the same question. Has there been at the train station, over your period of time, disruption,
So
vandalism?
So the train station, we typically don't have anything inside. It's always in the parking lot.
Correct.
So you only get 30 or 40 people in there and you're at capacity. So what happens is they rent it for, say, a birthday party, and then 300 people show up and they're just in the parking lot. So that's where we end up running into problems with specifically the train station, and then multiply that tenfold at Bird Park. Bird Park rents a pavilion for 100 people, and then you have family and friends and everybody else shows up. The firehouse, obviously, we had fights there. So, every event that we've hosted in this town, as far as even the Lions Club, we've responded for fights at the Lions Club. So nothing is immune from law enforcement response. We have just taken the responsibility now. We don't concern ourselves with that, as far as putting a fee associated with rental. We're just going to go after the rental person and charge them criminally for a disorderly house or having the disturbance of the peace. So if we respond, there's going to be an in-kind response from us. Instead of having a fine or associated, or where our man hours are associated with anything like that. If we respond for a call for service from either a person at the party or a neighbor or a complaint, we will handle it criminally versus trying to get money back from them on a deposit.
My question to you, in terms of the train station specifically, has there been, as a result of an event, other than the parking lot, has there been any vandalism or broken windows or chairs or anything in the train station?
Other than a couple tables might have got broke or something like that, no. And I will say this, the biggest thing to touch on what Andy was talking about as far as Bird Park, the biggest issue we have there is people coming there. If they've rented it, not rented it, they'll bring their own grills. They will not take them back. They dump all the charcoal out there, which we have to clean up after they're done, and then want to take and drive across the park and cut the yard up. When they know the sign says no parking, no driving on, whatever, and they'll do that. And he's seen it. We told him, we had one issue where the gentleman was stuck in the park, and had to get somebody to come pull him out in broad daylight. No, you're not supposed to drive across there. That are the issues we have. Then I've got to take our guys, we got to take and fix all the ruts. We got to provide the soil to do it with. Then reseed, we're gonna be able to, yes, that all takes time and money. Does it happen every time? No. But it does happen.
So do we have signs there for that?
There were signs all through the park, but they take them down. Yep. When it says no parking, and the signs there, it says dusk to dawn, and you got one-way signs, you're supposed to rent the loop. They take them up.
I mean, they steal the signs.
No, they don't steal them, just take them up, and throw them on the ground, you got,
Oh, throw
throw
'em
them
on
back
the
in
ground.
again, or whatever.
Oh.
That's all beside the point,
Okay.
you got your needs out.
All right, so we're talking about flat fee for train station 400, flat fee for Bird Park 300, and a flat fee for Sturgis Park 300. And we're looking at a security deposit on all of them for 100. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, so.
Is that correct? Or 150?
Maureen, can insurance be mandated?
Yeah, you can continue that.
And we can put that in our permit, our rental.
Yeah.
These, okay, so we're looking at 150, okay. All right, so is that clear? Is that okay for everybody now? Okay, let's move on. Anything that you want to add? We want to add the insurance liability to our, rental agreement, correct? Okay, on all train station, Bird Park, and, Sturgis. 300 for Bird and 300 for Sturgis. 400 for train station and 150 security deposit. All right, is there anything else that you want, to add to the agreement, the rental and application?
I just said to Maureen, since, Randy was talking about the grill, that we should put something in there about grills and what to do with your charcoal.
Okay, for Bird Park
For both,
and Sturgis?
yes.
Okay. Maureen's got that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and under the rules,
I'll put insurance.
We put insurance, liability. Must be maintained by the renter. Is that what
Yeah,
we're saying?
if we require it, we actually have, Gather Guard currently set up. We just got that set up.
Good, great.
So it's linked.
Okay,
So
so
when
that's
they
linked.
purchase it, it'll provide us with a certificate of insurance that will allow the rental to go through.
Great,
So if it's that verbiage is in the contract
okay, we're
or
good.
agreement, it'll be
That's
built
great.
in.
Okay, any other recommendations for the agreements? Now, these agreements will have all of what we just decided in the agreement, correct? It'll have a list, a checkbox, and we can add up the total from this, or,
We could do whatever way you want. I think all the agreements probably have to be looked at. I know staff has felt that way, that all of them need to be revised.
yes.
Um,
I know you asked if we could redline, but we,
I just need to start from scratch.
yeah, if we could do that. And then council can look at it
So
from there.
that's already there. We just need to add that. But number 8, yeah,
Yeah.
about the grills.
It has alcohol on here, doesn't it? And it has
Yes.
alcohol and how much that is and everything. Does it have it on this list? No, but it is $100 a
list.
day.
It's on
It's on there.
down there.
Okay. And, okay, so moving on to water sewer hookup fees. Randy, we're looking at water 3,500 and sewer 7,000 for 10,500, but that's
It's current.
the current, and it's been for 20 years, it says.
Yes.
And so they're recommending, $5,650 for water, $11,350 for sewer, and a total of $17,000 for installation.
And that is the average cost it is anywhere you go,
Okay, average cost of anywhere.
pretty much.
So as council, are you, approving that?
He says the cost is what it costs.
Okay,
I'll reach out to the contractors and ask them what they were getting in other places.
okay, and so this has all been checked out and, in the chapter 131, penalties, fees, fines, and other charges, the water changes are in there and the wastewater rates. And changes. Are you guys okay with that?
I mean, I'm giving examples on it as far as what happened in February, up downtown, then Miss Diane Nolte's messed up on her. And we had to work, just to work something, ended up being close to 9,000, time the road was done, the sidewalk was done. The material was, everything. You know. It's what it is.
Okay. Councilman Lee, are you okay with that?
I respect, you come and say. Making a pitch about costs, what I'm, council members, what I'm wrestling with is I over and over again. We mirror what some other.
Okay. Councilperson Lumpkins,
Yes.
you're good? Councilperson Fletcher.
This part, okay. For each single, it's saying single, but then I'm looking at $3,500 for, we have the non-dwelling. Would all of that change too?
Which one are you on? Are you
I
on
am
water or
on,
wastewater?
I'm on the hookup fees for the code,
Water? Okay,
water charges.
okay.
Um,
Number
I'm
D
on
one,
page 2 of 4. The second page of the 4. And then A. Let's see, the square footage of the building is between 0 and 3,000 square feet. That's 3,500 plus the cost of the water meter, plus the cost of installing the water meter. And then you have for restaurants and fast food, is that gonna change? From the $3,500?
So everything in that top list.
All, they should be included, just like the Dollar General that was put in, that's a business. So they're gonna be different than all the others. The residential.
this is residential.
Mhm.
This is residential.
One's residential and one's commercial.
Just to
They're,
give you an
they're
idea,
totally different. And Aaron can give you the,
It was 47,000 for
Dollar General.
little
Dollar
Dollar,
General.
and that was just done.
So to answer Mark's question,
So-
non-dwelling
so
section,
G-
none of that's gonna change.
None of that stuff is changing?
No, because that's commercial, non-dwelling, dwelling means that it's residential, non-dwelling means that it would be a non-residential.
To say it another
So
way,
it's not gonna, so theirs is, price is gonna stay the same. And residential's is what's gonna change.
Residential's going up.
So why not businesses too?
I think what they're saying is because the way these are calculated, it's 3,500 like a flat, plus the cost of the mutter, plus the cost of installing, plus half the cost of connect to normal service. It's based on every single project.
Okay.
Correct, every single one.
So they're paying a much higher rate.
They're much
Dollar
higher.
General paid 47,000 because when you've added all these items up,
Correct.
That's what it
what it
came out to.
That is correct.
Okay.
That was my very first job here.
Good question.
But they're.
I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah.
I guess it's to say it in another way is you have the mechanism in place to recover the cost for
Right,
the
that
commercial
is
at this
correct.
point.
So that's like a formula.
Right, yeah.
All right, any other questions? On wastewater.
We've been taking it off. I'm good.
Okay.
Just ask a process question. So both of the increases, both in the rental rates and the water and sewer hookup fees, are they accomplished through an ordinance or resolution?
All of these involve ordinances because you've got the fees in your codes.
Okay. Okay, number 3, finalize disposition of Willis Street surplus property. We have talked about this for a long time, but we have some information from, Randy.
To go on the, Aaron has been there and looked at the building. I was asked before about the building itself. I went through and looked at it. He is the code enforcement. He has been through and looked at it myself. I didn't go in. I just got so he could get in there.
Okay.
And if you want to tell them the condition of the building, your thoughts of the building, or whatever, and that way it's.
I did get into the building. I looked at the interior, exterior. Actually crawled under the building about 15 feet. There's an open spot in the back. There is extensive damage in that to the point where at this point, it's really not salvageable. The amount of damage on the underside is significant, not including the stuff that's interior to it. I know that most of the plumbing, electrical and everything else have been disconnected, torn out, damaged. But there's been a significant amount of water getting in because the clapboards on the outside. When you're inside, you can only see to the outside. in multiple different locations. And this is on Willow, correct? The big road. out there.
Yes.
I just wanna make sure, I should have asked that first, make sure I was talking about the same road. But, the extent of damage on the underside was more significant to me. At this point, I would not feel comfortable passing a renovation on that. I'd have to see something very strongly from a structural engineer to allow someone to go in there and start renovating. From what I saw on the underside, there's a significant amount of insect damage, significant amount of rotten damage to the joists and some of the beams, some of the foundation pillars. There was a report that I provided to the council. I believe at the end of last year, and this year, I can't remember which, but you guys should have that, I can provide it.
So
I think I've probably seen it, but yeah.
I was asked to get 2 quotes.
Quotes.
Or get quotes to have it torn down, I
Yeah.
received 2 quotes.
Okay,
And they were all forwarded along as well, it's been months ago. And, the one was from Reynolds Excavating, his was $17,000. The other one's from Miller Land, Services Incorporated, who's done work for the town as well. And his was $9,450. They both will do a good job. But my recommendation would be going with the $9,450.
because you feel he'll do just as good a
I
job.
know he will. He's done work for the town. He's the one who separated I got him over TK Construction, who does all of our water and sewer,
Okay,
to do the Snow Hill split order for us for service moving water. When I had that done.
okay.
But that's totally up to you all. You all need to make a decision on what y'all like to do with it, or.
And Mr. Pollock, yeah, we'll be back. Mr. Pollock, can you add some information about African American Heritage Society and what we offer or not? You had a conversation.
Sure, we've had on the table, an expression of interest from the African American Historic, Heritage Society, to acquire the property. They have a proposal that came when we were meeting at the old firehouse and had a very nice, very comprehensive proposal of things that they could do with it. Some of it involved, possibly renovating the building, but there was also some outdoor plans of demolishing the building and having some sort of like an educational park, addressing the heritage. of
Story
the area.
boards and,
Right.
right?
Um,
Okay,
there was discussion of, well, first of all, let me back up a little bit. It's surplus property, so we have a process that we're required to follow in order to declare the property surplus and then dispose of it. There was some discussion about the town possibly donating the property to the society. We found that was not an option because once again, we're caretakers of the property. We don't actually own it, so we can't just give it away. There was thought that we would get it appraised. The property did appraise for $12,500. And then we had the estimates for the demolition. Well, the last time we were talking about the demolition in the context of the Heritage Society was that possibly they would agree to take the building and demolish it, and we could balance that with our, moving the property from our hands into theirs if they were to absorb the obligation of demolishing the building, restoring the property, that sort of thing. And so right now we've got all these pieces of information on the table. We've got an appraisal showing the property's worth $12,500. We've got the estimates of what it would take to demolish it. We have the recommendation that the building itself cannot be preserved. As far as the Heritage Society goes, the last time we spoke with Dr. Blake, she said that they were still interested in it. We haven't had any other contact or communication from them saying what's going on with it. Can we discuss this or anything? So I'm not sure if it's a priority with them right now. I think they were able to get a grant for a project on Dighton Avenue. So, again, right now it's a liability to the town because the house is an eyesore and it represents a safety hazard. There is a town pumping station on the property. So if we were to dispose of it, we would need to subdivide off our piece of it and make sure we still had access to the lift station. So those are the things right now. We're just kind of looking for direction as to how you want to proceed to deal with Willow Street.
And if I can give a little input, Miss Rita just called me last week before this came on the table And people are starting to go inside of that.
That's what we're saying today. They're
Yeah.
going there staying.
They're staying in there?
Yeah, so it's,
It needs to be something
there's
done.
something needs to be done.
Yes.
And we have boarded it up before, but I guess that's only temporary. Depending on how bad somebody get in it, it's all, yeah.
Do we have a
She's
no
talked to me about
trespassing
it
sign?
before.
Is there a no, Chief, is there a no trespassing sign?
I think it went.
The one
That's all.
called me.
Maybe that's why I should have been trying to get up with her today, that's what she was trying to tell me.
And she says it's not safe because it's any time of night that she's.
Well,
you
she's
know,
right
she's
across the
got-
street,
yeah,
almost, yeah, so
somebody-
she's worried about it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
For her own safety. So what would you like to do? Would you like to, offer it to, African American Heritage Society, or can we, if they don't want it, if we offered it,
I
if they
don't
don't
know.
want it, we would have to put out,
I can't speak for them, I don't know if they would want it for 9,000 plus that it would take to demolish it. I think they were interested in it if we were gonna give it to them. Or maybe there would be some magic number that they could pay for it, but my understanding is they weren't seriously considering having to spend very much to acquire it.
okay,
I think if we don't dispose of it with them, we've got a process where we put it up for, public bidding or whatever. And then, or we decide maybe we decide right now, we better just go ahead and at least demolish the building. And if we want to proceed to try to unload the land, let's just do that after that, because my feeling again, as long as the building is there now, it's a liability to the town.
to the town.
And maybe the best thing to do is go and tear it down and then open the process if anybody wants to bid on the property.
Okay. Council, what do you wanna do?
Where would that funding come from?
Well, I'd have-
Treasurer, tell us.
That's right. Your pen.
But that is, that people are starting to go in there, that's a liability to the town.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Person one, Council, what do you think?
I agree with, Margaret. It's a liability if people are camping out in there. I would like to dispose of it as quickly as possible. Maybe try to reach out one more time to the African American Heritage Society, see if there is any interest in it. But then, I hate to say that because it's a historic building. I'm sure that a lot of people in town have ties to it. If there was any way to renovate it, I would prefer to go that way. But it sounds like, not having seen the inside of it, and as somebody who lives in an old house myself, like it would take a small fortune to make that into something like a museum or some kind of, facility like that.
Can barely stand inside, I mean, those ceilings are so low, it's, for short
That made me
people.
feel huge.
It's for,
First time in
yeah,
my life I felt.
it's for short people, that's for sure. Mr. Lee, what do you think? What do you, just pass? What do you think about, what, should we have it demolished? Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right, so we're gonna reach out one more time.
Well, I'd like to know what I'm reaching out with. I mean, if I call her up and say, are you interested in the property? She'll say yes. And, under what conditions do I tell her that we may part with it?
I would give her a firm number. Maybe it's cost of demolition.
Cost of the demolition.
We lower the demolition, that's the lower.
Cost of the lower the demolition. And then if not, we'll proceed with it for the demolition.
In the meantime, we'll be looking, we get the money.
Yes, we will. Okay, good. All right, next is comments from the public. Do you have any? She's actually looking. Okay.
He's doing.
She is such,
Yeah.
okay,
she's
you
making
know the
sure.
routine, you know the routine. Announcements from mayor and council, so we'll start with Councilperson Fletcher. Anything you'd like to add tonight?
I went on me and my partner had a meeting today and we went on a ride.
You did?
And we checked out all the easements around town
Okay.
and we were looking at those. And we checked out a few properties that I was asking.
Okay.
And I even had a chance to talk to his fellows.
Did you?
Yeah, so I told them that, they had a question for today, so tomorrow I will be calling, Candace. She doesn't know it yet, but I'm just to see if I can answer a question for it. And
Okay.
get that back to them.
And we have an opening, correct? We have
That's
some people.
We got some posted and I'm going to be doing some interviews next week.
Okay,
Yes, next week.
okay.
And, we're supposed to, the guys have some questions, maybe the same one that they said something to you about when I went there about the insurance. and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, well, I get this tomorrow.
Mhm.
We have our meeting tomorrow with the insurance lady for whoever, and I've told them that.
Okay, all right.
All I gotta do is get the exact time from Candace and I'll give that to them in the morning.
Okay,
We went through this last week.
okay. But it's good that we're
That's
all
right.
on the same.
Cause I tell
It's
them,
good, it's great,
and they'll share it. If it's us we've talked about, they'll share it with you.
good, good.
That way everybody's on the up and up.
Councilperson Fletcher. And has finished, right? Okay, Councilperson Watkins. Anything?
I'm just really looking forward to the 4th of July celebration on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a big
Really
one.
excited about
I mean, I'm just
that.
looking for 2:30 Thursday. I'm sorry.
Councilperson Lee.
I've had a couple interesting meetings I want to share with the council and raise a question with Rick. I've talked some time ago, on a couple of occasions about creating a PAL center, police athletic league. And for years, we've been talking about the demise of the Eagles Nest for our children. And I'm pleased that we had a meeting with the chief and we were able to identify the person who was the executive director, if you would, of the Eagles Nest that was closed, and he actually ran it. And they are moving forward to trying to come together on that and bring it back to council at some point, and I thank the chief for that. We had a meeting also with Dr. Leonard, who is the president of Title Health. And there's some exciting possibilities in terms of relationships coming out of that also. I'm not gonna get into weeds on it now, but again, I think it's going to bear some good fruit for Snow Hill. Steve, Rick, two questions from me. Where are we with the new engineering firm? I raised this question some time ago. And has there been meetings with them? If so, when one of those meetings will be scheduled, the regular meetings, so that and then the council can, kind of get moved into that.
We're trying to establish the first Thursdays of the month to do a similar exercise, what we used to do with DBNF on the first Wednesday.
Mhm.
Wednesdays don't suit the GMB people, so we're shooting for our first Thursday thing. The process is still in transition. We've requested a bit of information from DBNF to be transferred over to GMB. As late as today, I've been in touch with the DBNF office. They still haven't produced all of the information that we need in order for GMB to really get started. Although they are underway with, they're talking with Paul about the grants for the the annex and also, the water and sewer grants, especially. So they're working with us, but we haven't really gotten our footing yet until they're able to get all the information they need to get a handle on what they're doing with us.
Okay.
But going forward, we will be shooting for those first Thursdays.
Thursday.
We'll let you know.
Do you know time, or it's just
I think we're still shooting for 11 o'clock like we were doing. But I'll confirm that.
first Thursday?
First Thursday of the month.
Will you let us know, me know, anyway,
Absolutely.
because I wanna, kind of time block. And what's changing, I was so certain that it was gonna be first.
Well, and of course, we asked that first, but, they're on Smith Island, they're going Wednesdays. We can't compete with Smith Island.
Cool.
We got some news from Chris Derbyshire today about UV.
Yes, it looks like our grant application or loan application for, more than $1 million for the UV lighting at the wastewater treatment plant has been funded, so
Yeah.
we're gonna try to get the real scoop on that. But
That is.
right now, that looks like.
amazing.
One other thing, and I don't want you to take it personally, but I know it's been a lot of stuff gotten in the way of it. But one of the meetings that I've been asking for since I came on this council was.
You pull the mic just a little closer, because I can't hear you from where I am. Just pull the mic closer, that point right there. Thank you. There we go.
One of the things that, meetings that I've asked about, and I understand the stuff that's in the way of it, but I'm interested in attending, as I shared with you when I came on this council, your monthly meetings with the administration meetings. And it's seems like whatever, for whatever, they've been constantly coming up, missed or what have you, was around and kind of changing the meeting location, what have you. When does that meeting take place?
Do you want me to answer?
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking for.
All right, with all due respect, Councilman Lee, the administrative staff meetings are clearly our bailiwick. They are not designed, nor should they be, open to anyone else other than our meeting staff, because that's where we do our brainstorming, that's where we do our progress meetings, our relationships with each other. They're not open, in other words, they're not open to.
No, in other
others.
words, they've been closed.
Not like the,
They've been closed.
well, they are exactly what I'm calling it, an administrative staff meeting.
You invited us as a council. You didn't invite just me. You invited the council to whatever meetings were taking place.
Well, in the proper context, of
Right,
course.
not staff.
The things like the engineering meetings, of
Engineering,
course.
the fees and
The
fines.
fees and fines council, yes, but those administrative staff meetings are exactly that. And we have to be able to share among ourselves uninhibited. Where we are with certain things, what the best strategies for accomplishing certain things, and that's the one that may be the only one. That I would say that's strictly that.
And finally, and I sent everybody a copy of the letter. My partner's leaving, and I want to publicly thank you for the time that you spent with me. I've spent a learning curve for you. And I sincerely meant what I said in that letter. You're going to be missed. You've been challenging, you've been forthright. Everybody has not liked what you've said and what you've done, but I appreciate you and I wanted to say that publicly. Thank you so very much.
I just want to thank staff members and council for attending the visitation of MML members to our great town of Snow Hill. I'm sorry I could not be there. I was with family, but there was a lot of work. Thank you, Rick. Thank you,
Candace.
Randy. Thank you, Candace.
Henry.
And Larissa was also part of this, and I heard Larissa and Randy were rock stars and really made these people feel welcome And they were talking about the history of Snow Hill and the historical homes that they visited. And council, thank you for all your support for being there and showing that. And when we went to MML convention in Ocean City this past week, people were coming up to us and saying how much they enjoyed it. They visited Pocomoke and Snow Hill and they enjoyed it so much. And it was all attributable to you. So I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. Also our sister, town of Pocomoke has the new president of MML, Todd Knott. And he is determined to make sure that the Eastern Shore is recognized this year. So we're also looking very forward to that. And I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoyed a lot of the sessions at MML. They're very productive and they're run by us, mayors and council and staff members. And it's very relevant to what we deal with every day. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And the driver of the bus we got to take people around from the MAC Center and the refreshments at the end of the day. Rick, thank you for picking all those up.
Oh, well, thank you. It was a good day.
Yes, it was a great day. So we were well represented and people were singing our praises. So it was nice. Thank you. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you, Randy.